Hello my friends, Dr. Mandell here. If you're over the age of 60, listen closely because what I'm about to share completely change how your body feels, moves, and rebuilds muscle naturally. You see, as we age, our body's ability to repair and maintain muscle tissue drops dramatically. You may have noticed you walk a little slower, climb stairs with more effort, or feel weaker after simple activities. Most people think magnesium is the answer for muscle health. Yes, magnesium is essential for nerve function, muscle relaxation, and energy. But today, I want to share two vitamins that work even better for rebuilding muscle and strength, especially after age 60. If you're over 60 and you've noticed your body doesn't recover the way it used to, your muscles feel weaker, and your energy fades faster than it once did, I need you to listen closely. Because the truth is, what's happening inside your body isn't just aging, it's a silent biological shutdown caused by something most doctors overlook: a chronic lack of vitamin D3. Now, I know what you're thinking: vitamin D3, the sunshine vitamin. You've heard of it before. But what if I told you this single nutrient acts more like a power switch for your muscles, your strength, and even your longevity? You see, after the age of 50, your skin's ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight drops by more than 50%. That means even if you're spending time outdoors, your body may no longer be making enough of it. And by age 60 or 70, this deficiency becomes one of the biggest hidden drivers of muscle loss worldwide. Here's the shocking truth: over 70% of adults over 60 are vitamin D deficient, and most of them don't even know it. The weakness, the fatigue, the slow recovery after a walk or a workout. It's not just getting old. It's your muscles starving for a nutrient that controls over 2,000 genes in your body, including those responsible for muscle protein synthesis. That's the process your body uses to rebuild muscle tissue after movement, exercise, or injury. In simple terms, when vitamin D3 levels drop, your body loses the blueprint for making new muscle. The fibers shrink, the cells weaken, and your metabolism slows down like a dying flame. But here's the miracle. Research now shows that when older adults restore their vitamin D3 levels, their muscle fibers literally start to wake up again. One study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that seniors with higher vitamin D3 levels had nearly 40% greater muscle strength than those who were deficient. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between walking with confidence or holding onto the railing for support. So why does this happen? Vitamin D3 isn't just a vitamin, it's a hormone precursor. When it enters your bloodstream, it binds to specific receptors inside your muscle cells called VDRs, vitamin D receptors. Think of them like ignition switches. When D3 binds to them, it turns on genes that tell your body to grow, repair, and maintain muscle mass. But when those switches stay off, when your D3 levels are low, your muscles begin to atrophy. And this isn't just about strength, it's about life itself. Low vitamin D3 has been linked to higher risks of falls, fractures, metabolic disorders, and even depression. Because when your muscles weaken, your posture collapses, your balance falters, and your vitality fades. Everything becomes harder. Even climbing out of bed. Now here's something most people don't realize. Vitamin D3 works through calcium. It's the conductor that allows calcium to flow properly through your muscles and nerves. Without D3, calcium can't get inside the muscle cells where it's needed for contraction. That's why so many older adults experience cramps, stiffness, or twitching even when they take magnesium or calcium supplements. Because the real problem is that vitamin D3 isn't there to open the door. In 2019, researchers from the University of Birmingham discovered that vitamin D actually activates a specific type of protein in muscle cells called myosin heavy chains. These proteins are responsible for generating muscle force, your strength, your grip, your ability to lift, push, and move. When D3 levels were optimized, these myosin proteins increased dramatically. The muscles literally began functioning like younger ones. Now imagine what that means for you. Imagine rebuilding your strength naturally, not through drugs, not through protein powders, but through a nutrient your body was designed to make. That's what vitamin D3 does. It rebuilds your foundation. It reignites your energy from the cellular level upward. But here's where the modern lifestyle works against us. Many of us spend our days indoors, covered up, avoiding sunlight, the very source of this vital nutrient. And even when we do go outside, the sunscreen we apply while protecting our skin blocks the UVB rays that trigger vitamin D synthesis. Add to that declining kidney function and slower liver conversion as we age, and your body simply can't make enough D3 on its own anymore. That's why studies now recommend older adults maintain serum D3 levels around 50 to 80 ng/ml, far higher than the outdated minimum of 20. Because when your blood levels rise to that range, your muscles start functioning like they did years earlier. You stand taller, move easier, and feel lighter. Let's talk about food for a moment. While sunlight is the best natural source, certain foods can help you replenish D3. Wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, egg yolks, and fortified plant milks. But even with diet alone, it's extremely difficult to meet your daily needs. That's where smart supplementation comes in. Taking a high-quality vitamin D3 supplement, around 2,000 to 4,000 IU daily, with a meal that contains healthy fats can significantly improve absorption. Remember, vitamin D is fat-soluble. Your body needs fats like olive oil, avocado, or nuts to process it effectively. And here's the bonus. Pairing D3 with vitamin K2 ensures calcium gets delivered to the right places, your bones and muscles, not your arteries. But the real magic happens when you combine D3 optimization with simple physical movement. Even 20 minutes of daily walking, light resistance bands, or body weight exercises create micro tears in your muscle fibers. And that's when D3 steps in to repair and rebuild those fibers stronger than before. It's like giving your body the green light to reverse the aging process. In one groundbreaking 2020 study, older adults who combined daily sunlight exposure with moderate exercise saw a 25% increase in lean muscle mass within just 12 weeks. No steroids, no extreme workouts, just sunlight and movement. So if you're feeling weaker, if your legs tire easily, if you've lost the spark you once had, don't give up. Your body is not broken. It's simply waiting for the right signal. And that signal is vitamin D3, the nutrient that tells your muscles, wake up, rebuild, live again. This isn't about vanity. This is about freedom. The freedom to move without pain, to lift your grandchild without fear of falling, to walk into the next decade of your life knowing your strength is still yours. So tomorrow morning, open your curtains, step outside, let the sunlight touch your skin, even if only for 15 minutes. Fuel your meals with whole foods rich in D3, and if you need it, supplement wisely. Because every cell in your body is waiting for that light, the light that repairs, the light that rebuilds, the light that restores your muscle, your balance, and your power. Your body was never designed to decay in silence. It was designed to adapt, repair, and thrive if you give it what it needs. And it all begins with one thing, vitamin D3. This is not just another vitamin. It's the foundation of your strength, your movement, and your independence. Don't let the light fade. Bring it back, starting today. If you're over 60 and you've been taking calcium, magnesium, or even vitamin D for your bones and muscles, I want you to pause, because what I'm about to tell you could completely change everything you thought you knew about how your body works. For decades, doctors told us calcium builds strong bones, magnesium helps muscles relax, and vitamin D helps absorb both. But almost no one told you about the missing link, the one nutrient that decides whether all those minerals heal you or silently harm you. That missing link is vitamin K2. Now, most people have heard of vitamin K, but they confuse it with K1, the type found in leafy greens that helps with blood clotting. K2 is different. It's a biological director. It doesn't just float around your bloodstream. It gives instructions. It tells calcium exactly where to go. And if you don't have enough of it, calcium can't hear the signal. That's when it starts drifting into your arteries, joints, and soft tissues, stiffening your body, aging your heart, and weakening your muscles from the inside out. Let's talk about what happens when vitamin K2 is missing. Your body still absorbs calcium from your diet or your supplements, but instead of entering your muscles and bones, that calcium gets lost. It deposits in your arteries, turning them hard and brittle. This process is called vascular calcification, and it's one of the leading silent killers of older adults today. Studies show that people deficient in K2 are 52% more likely to develop heart disease. Not because they eat poorly, but because calcium is literally building up in the wrong places. But here's the incredible part. When K2 is present, it activates special proteins called matrix GLA proteins and osteocalcin. These are like your body's construction workers. They grab calcium out of the bloodstream and deliver it precisely where it belongs, into your bones, into your teeth, and most importantly, into your muscle fibers. Because your muscles need calcium to contract, to generate power, and to rebuild after activity. Researchers from the University of Maastricht discovered that when older adults began supplementing with K2, not only did arterial stiffness decrease, their muscle function improved significantly. The subjects could climb stairs faster, maintain better balance, and recover more quickly after exertion. Why? Because K2 was fueling their muscles from within. It wasn't just protecting the heart, it was rejuvenating the body. This is why I call vitamin K2 the unsung hero of aging. It doesn't make headlines, but it quietly saves lives every day. It prevents calcium overload, keeps your tissues flexible, and turns your muscles back into engines of strength rather than storage sites for stiffness. Think about this, your muscle cells are living organisms. They contract, expand, and adapt constantly. Inside those cells, tiny energy factories called mitochondria power every movement you make. But these mitochondria depend on proper calcium balance to function. Too little calcium and your muscles feel weak. Too much and they cramp or stiffen. Vitamin K2 maintains that delicate equilibrium. It tells calcium, go into the muscle cells, not the bloodstream. Without that guidance, your entire system becomes chaotic. A 2021 study published in Frontiers in Physiology revealed something remarkable. K2 supplementation increased mitochondrial efficiency in muscle tissue by up to 25%, improving endurance, oxygen use, and energy output. That's like turning back your metabolic clock by decades. Imagine feeling your muscles respond again, lighter, faster, more alive. And yet, almost no one is getting enough of this vitamin. The Western diet is practically void of it. Why? Because K2 is found primarily in traditional foods we've abandoned, fermented dishes, organ meats, and pasture-raised animal products. The richest source on earth is a Japanese food called natto made from fermented soybeans. It contains a specific form of K2 known as menaquinone 7 or MK7. This version stays in your bloodstream longer and is far more bioavailable than any other type. Just 1 tablespoon of natto can give you an entire day's worth of K2. But in Western diets, where natto is rare, the average person gets almost none. Even if you eat spinach or kale daily, that's K1, not K2. Your body can only convert a small fraction of it. That's why deficiencies are widespread. And the cost of that deficiency shows up as stiffness, joint pain, and slower recovery, not because your muscles are too old, but because calcium has stopped listening to the signals that guide it. So what can you do? You start reintroducing K2 back into your life the same way our ancestors did. You can get it naturally from grass, fed butter, cheese, egg yolks, and chicken thighs. Or if your diet lacks these foods, you can use a high-quality MK7 supplement, usually around 100 to 200 micrograms per day. But here's the key, always take it with vitamin D3. Because these two are partners. D3 brings calcium into your bloodstream. K2 tells it where to go. Without K2, D3 can't finish its job. Without D3, K2 has no calcium to direct. Together, they form a biological orchestra that keeps your muscles strong, your arteries clear, and your bones dense. When this duo works properly, something extraordinary happens. Your muscle cells begin rebuilding their internal scaffolding. Calcium binds efficiently to actin and myosin filaments, the very structures responsible for contraction. You feel your strength return not because you're training harder, but because your body is finally using the nutrients it's been missing. In a 2020 study from the European Journal of Nutrition, adults taking K2 daily showed measurable improvements in leg muscle strength within just 12 weeks, even without changing their exercise routine. Their posture improved. Their walking speed increased. Their balance returned. That's not a coincidence. That's biology working in harmony again. So let me say this clearly. If you're over 60 and you've been taking calcium or D3 without K2, it's like building a house without blueprints. You're giving your body the materials, but not the instructions. The result? Weak muscles, stiff arteries, and brittle bones. But when you add K2, you give your body direction, clarity. You tell every mineral in your system where to go, what to build, and what to protect. And that is how you begin to reverse decades of wear and tear, not by fighting your body, but by teaching it to remember how it was designed to function. K2 doesn't just extend your life, it enhances your quality of life. It allows your muscles to breathe again, your joints to move freely, your heart to pump without strain. So the next time you reach for your supplements, remember this: magnesium helps, D3 guides, but vitamin K2 commands. It's the silent conductor of your entire calcium symphony. Without it, the music turns into noise, stiffness, pain, and weakness. With it, every part of your body begins to move in rhythm again. Your strength is not gone. It's simply waiting for the right signal to return, and that signal is vitamin K2. Start giving your body the message it's been missing, and watch how quickly it remembers what true vitality feels like. If you've made it past 60 and you've started to feel your strength slipping away, the slow decline when your muscles don't respond the way they used to, I want you to know something important. This is not just aging. This is a signal your body has been sending for years, begging for two nutrients that can literally turn the clock backward. Vitamin D3 and vitamin K2, the dynamic duo that can reverse age, related muscle loss, strengthen your heart, and reignite the energy you thought you'd lost forever. And what science is finding about these two vitamins working together will absolutely change how you see your body from this day forward. Most people know about vitamin D. They've heard it helps with bones, immunity, maybe even mood. But few realize that without vitamin K2, vitamin D's power is only half complete, sometimes even dangerous. You see, vitamin D increases calcium absorption into your bloodstream. That's good, but here's the catch. Without vitamin K2, all that calcium has no guidance. It floats aimlessly, building up in places it shouldn't, in arteries, joints, even soft tissues, causing stiffness, fatigue, and inflammation that accelerate aging from within. But when K2 enters the picture, everything changes. K2 acts like a GPS for calcium. It directs it out of your arteries and straight into your bones and muscles, exactly where your body needs it to rebuild. And that's where the synergy happens deep inside your cells. Vitamin D3 signals your DNA to activate muscle-building genes, while vitamin K2 delivers the minerals those muscles need to grow stronger. Together, they don't just maintain muscle, they reconstruct it. In 2017, researchers at the University of Amsterdam discovered that adults supplementing with both D3 and K2 showed a 30% increase in muscle protein synthesis compared to those taking D3 alone. That means their bodies were literally producing more new muscle tissue, even at advanced ages. You can feel this synergy in motion. When your D3 and K2 levels rise, you stand taller, you move with more stability, your energy comes back in waves. It's not placebo, it's biology remembering what youth feels like. Because every muscle contraction, every heartbeat, every step depends on the perfect coordination between calcium, vitamin D, and vitamin K2. If even one of these elements is missing, the system begins to fail. That's why so many people over 60 experience fatigue, cramps, weakness, or sudden loss of mobility. Not because they're old, but because their biochemical wiring has gone offline. But here's the miracle. The moment you restore that wiring, the moment D3 and K2 start working in harmony, your body doesn't just stop aging, it starts healing. A groundbreaking study from Nutrients Journal in 2020 revealed that older adults who optimized both D3 and K2 had significantly greater leg strength and muscle mass after just 12 weeks, even without changing diet or exercise. Their balance improved, their walking speed increased, and their bone density strengthened simultaneously. That's the power of synergy, two nutrients amplifying each other's effects in ways that no single supplement ever could. And this isn't just about muscles. This protects your heart and arteries too. When calcium is redirected from blood vessels into bones and muscles, arterial stiffness decreases dramatically. In fact, a 10-year follow-up study from the Rotterdam Heart Study found that people with higher K2 intake had a 50% lower risk of cardiovascular death. The researchers concluded something profound: calcium is life-saving only when D3 and K2 work together. Alone, it can become deadly. Think about that for a second. The same mineral that's meant to strengthen you can destroy you if misdirected. That's the hidden reason why so many older adults who take calcium or vitamin D alone still suffer from joint stiffness, muscle pain, or calcified arteries. They were never told that K2 is the key that unlocks the full benefit. And here's the secret most people miss. K2 doesn't just protect your heart or bones. It improves your body's energy efficiency. Inside your muscle cells, mitochondria, those tiny energy factories, depend on calcium balance to generate power. When D3 and K2 align, mitochondria start producing ATP more efficiently, and your body begins to feel decades younger. Imagine walking uphill without feeling winded. Imagine your legs carrying you with power, your balance restored, your posture upright and confident. That's what happens when your muscles start getting the calcium they were starved of for years. Not the calcium floating in your bloodstream, but calcium that's been properly delivered, targeted, guided, and absorbed. This is why I call D3 and K2 the architects of strength. They rebuild what time tries to erase. And it doesn't take long to feel the difference. Within weeks of balancing these two vitamins, many people report deeper sleep, sharper focus, better energy, and reduced inflammation. That's because strong muscles don't just move you. They protect your metabolism, regulate blood sugar, and support your immune system. Every inch of your health depends on them. And when those muscles are restored, your entire body begins to function as a unified system again. Yet despite decades of evidence, this combination remains one of the most overlooked in modern nutrition. Walk into most stores and you'll find vitamin D3 sold alone, isolated, incomplete. Millions take it daily, believing it's helping, when in reality without K2, they're feeding the imbalance that causes more harm than good. This is why education matters, why you're hearing this message now. Because knowing the truth is the first step toward reversing the damage. So how do you make this synergy work for you? It starts with awareness and consistency. Make sure your vitamin D levels stay between 50 and 80 ml. That's the optimal range for muscle and bone health. Pair that with 100 to 200 micrograms of vitamin K2 and K7 daily, preferably taken with food that contains healthy fats for absorption. But remember, this isn't just about supplements. Your body thrives when it's supported by whole foods too. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines provide natural D3, while grass-fed cheese, egg yolks, and fermented foods like natto supply potent K2. When you combine these with regular sunlight and simple strength exercises, you're giving your body everything it needs to rebuild itself from the inside out. And here's the part that gives me chills: your body is always listening. Even after years of neglect, it never stops trying to heal. The moment you feed it what it's been missing, it responds immediately. It's never too late to regain strength, never too late to restore vitality. Science is proving that age-related muscle loss isn't permanent. It's reversible. You don't need to accept frailty as your destiny. You just need to awaken your biology's original design. Because when vitamin D3 and K2 start working together, something profound happens. You stop decaying and you start regenerating. Your blood flows more freely, your heart beats stronger, and your muscles regain the power they were meant to have. It's not magic. It's molecular intelligence, your body remembering what it's capable of. So the next time you feel that weakness or stiffness, don't say, "I'm getting old." Say, "My cells need direction." Give them that direction through D3 and K2. Watch your strength return. Watch your balance, your energy, your confidence come back. Because your body doesn't age in years, it ages in deficiencies. Fix deficiency and you fix the decline. This is your second chance at strength, not just to live longer, but to live better, freer, and more powerfully than you imagined. Vitamin D3 and K2, together they don't just rebuild muscle, they rebuild you. Remember, muscle loss after 60 is not inevitable. Your body can still repair and rebuild if you give it the right tools. Vitamin D3 and K2 are those tools. They work together to strengthen not only your muscles, but your bones, heart, and energy levels too. So my friends, stop relying solely on magnesium for muscle health. Support your body with D3 and K2 naturally, daily, and consistently. You'll move better, feel stronger, and age with power and grace. This is Dr. Mandell. I wish you abundant health, happiness, and blessings. Stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.